There's lots of stuff on TikTok, and most of the claims have not even been evaluated.
I've heard some people use some physical implements to try and improve, like mouth taping or nasal strips. Is there any evidence behind that? What would be your thoughts on that?
So yeah, mouth taping I think is a tricky one, and there's a few things to say about it. So there've been some very small, relatively poor quality studies suggesting that mouth taping might improve snoring. So for example, just in terms of the quality of that data, one study had just 20 people in it. Okay, so we would not say that's a good quality study. Um, Certainly, I would say that there's no evidence that mouth taping improves sleep quality. Maybe improves snoring, but certainly nothing to suggest it improves sleep quality. And in fact, there is no physiologic rationale why it would. So I wouldn't. It certainly wouldn't recommend mouth taping to improve sleep. When you look at sort of the claims around mouth taping, and those claims increasingly extend to not just improving snoring, but to improving overall sleep. There are no controlled trials. The uncontrolled trials that exist contain very few patients. There's lots of pseudoscience that has no physiologic basis. And there's lots of stuff on TikTok. And most of the claims have not even been evaluated before. So, and I would certainly say that in individuals who have nasal obstruction, and certainly in those who may have undiagnosed or are known to have sleep apnea, mouth taping can worsen those things. So I would definitely not recommend it in those individuals. Those individuals should avoid mouth taping entirely. If you're looking for some sort of device to improve snoring, the best evidence is for what's called a mandibular advancement device. So this is a mouth guard worn in the night that gently pulls the lower jaw and the tongue forward in sleep, which opens up the space at the back of the throat, and those can be effective at improving snoring. We generally recommend individuals use a semi-customizable device rather than the cheaper boil and bite devices. But dentists can also provide fully customizable devices as well. And those, I would say, if you're looking for some sort of physical device to help with snoring, that is where the evidence is, and those devices are effective.